Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Legacy Farmer, the podcast. This is your host, JC Young, and today's topic and discussion is this: a $1.2 million swing. So I just got done meeting with one of our customers. This guy's been in Legacy Farmer since 2019, and we have done a lot of work together. And just getting to the points of this entire podcast, when this guy first came in, his financial position was not where he wanted it to be. He was not very strong. And there's one metric that we actually use to really put a label on this inside of Legacy Farmer. It's called your borrowing power with the bank, right? This is the one single number that every member in Legacy Farmer can go back to know whether or not they're making the right decision, right? And inside of your operation, inside of any business, right? We all have thousands of financial decisions that we're making on a day-to-day basis. My business is no different. I have to have something to simplify that decision that allows me to help remove emotion from it, right? And again, you look at a lot of people around you, other farmers, ranchers, business owners, they're just shooting from the hip with financial decisions. They don't really know whether or not what decision they're making, or they don't know how it's going to impact them long term. They're not considering all viewpoints. They're reacting emotionally, which is how people obviously get in trouble. Now, with this member here, since 2019, when they first came in, at that time, their overall borrowing power with the bank was negative $200,000 roughly, right? They were underwater with the bank. Did the bank know this? No, I'm just telling you straight up, the bank didn't even know that they were underwater with this customer. And it's been proven over and over again as I meet with people inside of Legacy Farmer, a majority of banks do not know their financial positions with their customers, which is why it's even more important for you as the farmer, rancher, or business owner to know what your position is with the bank. That way you don't get caught in a bad situation that could have been prevented if the bank was actually keeping track of your numbers the way they're supposed to be. Now, with this member, we've had a $1.2 million swing in just 3 years. Now, we've had great grain prices. And what I mean by the $1.2 million swing is we went from negative $200,000 in borrowing power with the bank to, I just met with them, and this year we're up to $1 million. Now, the thing is that this customer didn't just get lucky, right? Yes, we've had better grain prices this year, but this didn't just happen this year, right? We had to go through a ton of cleanup in 2019, 2020, 2021, just through removing bad debts, making better decisions, calculating everything. Just finally, instead of just shooting from the hip with a multi-million-dollar operation, now we're making calculated decisions. We're challenging our emotions. We're making sure that we have all the facts to making these decisions, right? Now, the thing is, guys, is when you are making bad decisions on the operation, right? When you're just shooting from the hip financially, and just your only strategy is hope and prayer, well, bad decisions compound very quickly, right? And they just get worse and worse and worse. And right. And what we had to do with this customer is, were they on that route? Yeah, they probably were. We had to interrupt that pattern. Right. And we had to make sure that now we're simplifying the finances. We know exactly where every dollar is going. And because of that, this customer experienced a $1.2 million swing in their borrowing power with their bank, which is the one single number that shows the overall strength of their operation and helps them simplify decisions. They experienced a $1.2 million swing in only a 3-year period. Now, this isn't really the entire point of this podcast. Yes, that's impressive. Yes, I'm super happy for the customer and that we were able to help them achieve that here inside of Legacy Farmer. But here is the deal, right? We were having a conversation there at the end of our call, and he said, well, I've made a bunch of money now, or we're having a really good year and we're profitable this year. And he goes, I want to make sure I keep it, right? Or he said something similar to that. And it made me think back to, the type of scenario that we're going to run into this year. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of people are going to make money this year, guys. We've been going through tax planning and projections and everything with all of our customers here inside of our Legends program. We know people are making several hundreds of thousands of dollars this year. At least a lot of our customers are. Now, the thing is, though, is that I've seen this happen before. Okay, back in banking, back in 2012, same type of situation happened, right? I think in 2011, wheat down in Kansas hit like $13.84. For some reason, that's the number that sticks in my mind. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was around $13. And guys were just making a killing, right? They were making money, line of credits were paid off and all this stuff. Now, the problem is, though, is that you have two types of farmers in this type of market environment, right? Now, this customer that I was speaking with, he is now the type of farmer that says, hey, I'm going to make a pile of money this year, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go buy anything, right? That doesn't mean I'm giving myself permission to spend, right? We have trained him well enough to where whenever he does want to make a financial decision, he's going back to his numbers. He's going back to that one number again, that borrowing power with the bank, to challenge all of his decisions and to really theorize out what could happen, right? What are the things that we're missing? What are the things that we need to be paying attention to? Now, That's one type of farmer, right? And he's going to do things the right way there. We're going to make sure that we hold him accountable to making sound financial decisions going forward. Because again, he's having a big profitable year. I'm super happy for him, but I want to make sure that we don't just blow up this profitable year in 1 year. And I'm going to get to that here in a second. Now, back in 2012, when guys go through and a farmer goes through and they are able to pay off their line of credit and they've just had this windfall year of income, right? The thing is that those guys that have that windfall year of income or just make a lot of money that aren't tracking their numbers mentally, when their line of credit is zero and they have cash in the bank, they are mentally switching a trigger in their mind, giving themselves permission to spend. And I'm not talking just spending like, oh yeah, I'm going to go buy a $5,000 gun or something like that, whatever. I'm talking about going and spending $500,000 or $1 million on new equipment, new buildings, new vehicles, whatever, right? Back in 2012 and 2013, we had guys buying campers, putting up $400,000 buildings with living quarters in them, which would probably be like a $700,000 building today. Upgrading 4 new combines at a time, tractor sweeps, everything, right? They were doing everything, but they were careless, right? But the thing is though, is that mentally they saw a zero balance on their upper line of credit. They also saw like 300 grand in a checking account. So mentally they're like, hey, this is great. Let's go spend some money. Now, do you think they spent the money in their checking account? No. Why would they do that, right? Why would I go spend my money? Now, here's the problem with this is when they went and bought all this new equipment and everything, they financed it, right? John Deere Finance is offering 0% rates. Why would I not use that? That's a great question. Why would you not use that, right? You should. But the thing is, though, is that you are choosing to buy equipment based on zero financial facts. You don't even know if you can afford the equipment. You're assuming that in one windfall year of income that, hey, this is great right now. Everything is awesome. Everything is going to continue to be awesome. Here's the deal. Back in 2013, 2014, after prices started to correct, those guys that went and upgraded all this equipment because they saw their operating line of credit as $0 and they saw 300 grand in the bank account, then they go finance all this equipment and the buildings and all this stuff and get 0% interest because that's what everybody's getting back then. Now all of a sudden, $13 wheat is now $5 wheat and they can't afford the payments. Right now, their line of credit's maxed out. Also, too, the reason that they went and spent all that money so they don't have to pay any taxes. Well, now they have to sell all their grain in 1 year to just be able to pay off their operating line of credit. So now we have a windfall year of I can't make my payments, and my tax bill is gigantic because it compounded year after year after year. Guys, this is the shit that you need to be paying attention to. This is the stuff that breaks family farm operations. I've seen it time and time again, and we've kept a lot of our members from doing this because at the end of the day, guys, we're all emotional. I get it. We're all emotional beings and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that people in this country, farmers and ranchers and business owners in general, keep what they're building. And when you have a great year like this, which a lot of you probably are, I am telling you, push pause. If you do not know your numbers, right? You're just assuming, hey, I've had a pretty good year, but you don't know down to the penny how much you made. And you haven't really game planned out what you need to do in the future. You don't know what your tax bill is going to be, all this type of stuff. If you do not know where you're at financially, you need to sit still. You need to push pause and let this thing play out because we have no idea what's going to happen in these markets. And I do not want to see people, again, going back to the farmer back in 2012, made a pile of money and saw his line of credit at zero, saw some cash in his bank account, a couple $100,000 or $300,000, and said, hey, yeah, let's go buy some stuff. I don't want to pay taxes. Right? He did not consider what the future would hold. When you were having a great year, like a lot of people are having in 2022, you need to push pause and consider what's going to happen in the future because we have no idea what's going to happen. Right? We have inflation. We have no idea what's going to happen there. Fertilizer prices are up 300% in some parts of the country. Chemical prices, fuel prices, all of this stuff is just up in the air right now. So if you're having a great year, my friend, make sure you are sitting on your hands and make a mental promise to yourself that, hey, like we're not buying anything. We are sitting here. We're letting this thing play out. We also don't know what interest rates are going to do. Cost of capital has went up about 200% for a majority of our customers. And I'm saying, they used to be borrowing at 4.5% on their operating line. Now a lot of them are up to 8%. Right? So cost of capital is another huge thing. Again, if you're not factoring that into your cash flow, oh my gosh, like you are so far behind then on your numbers and you're not where you should be. So instead of going out and buying a bunch of stuff in 2023, maybe you should just become a student of your numbers and making sure you're keeping what you've built. And I'm just being straightforward with you and truthful with you because I've seen it time and time again where people make emotional decisions. They think they've made a lot of money, which is great. They may have in 1 year, but they don't keep it. Right? They're great at making money in 1 year, but they don't keep it, right? Then if you don't keep it, you don't have the ability to grow it, which means you don't have the ability to like really build a truly profitable, long sustainable business there that your family can one day take over. And obviously that's a goal for what we're trying to do here. So my friends, hope you found this episode valuable. Hope it makes you think about your business and the decisions that you're making going into 2023. And we will catch you on the next episode. What's up, everyone? My name is Jace Young. I'm the founder of a company called Legacy Farmer, and inside of that company, what we do is we've helped over 300 family farms simplify and streamline the entire financial side of their operation and help them learn their numbers at a deep, deep level so that they can implement the systems and the processes to make sure that their operation lives on for generations into the future.